Okay, so let's begin with writing at the top of our page 5-9 ratio reasoning right here. And we need to take our time with these notes today. They're going to be very precise, very exact, and your spacing is extremely important. I'm going to be using just one page, but if you feel the need to do 2 pages for your notes, please go ahead. Convert metric units. All right? And we're going to begin with making steps. And this is a really simplified way of being able to look at a measurement and convert it to another metric unit. All right? And I'm going to start with going about 1 inch each time, like here. Go down 2, and we're going to make 7 going out. There's my second step. Here's my third step. Here's my fourth, fifth, sixth, and I'll slide this up a little bit for you so you can get a visual, and seventh. All right? I'm going to start here by labeling the measurement units, all right? And the first one, we'll start at the very top, is called kilo. And the meaning of kilo is 1,000. All right? The next one we're going to do is called hecto. And the meaning of it is 100. The next one is called deca. Meaning of it is 10. And the next word I'm going to put right here is unit. And I'm going to put unit here, and it means 1 unit. All right. And the next one we're going to write is deci. Now, deci could be written a couple of ways on what it means. It means 1/100th. Or I can't believe I said it means 1/10, and it can be written as a fraction or as a decimal. And the next one, this is where I was trying to go with 100, is centa, and that means 1/100th, and it can be written as a fraction or as a decimal. All right, and the last one I'm going to write down here is milli. Okay, and that means 1/1000th, and that can be written as a fraction or a decimal also. All right. Okay, so let's just write some information down before we get started on what all of this stuff means, and that'll help you to be more successful once we start calculating measurements and converting them. All right. So I'm going to start right through here, and I'm going to fairly close here, but from here on up, I'm going to draw an arrow that points this way. All right, draw a line. A little arrow at the end. And let's write a piece of information here. The hint for this one, when we're doing metric conversions, is the number will become smaller when it goes up the steps. Number will become smaller. All right? Now we're going to do the same going down the steps with an arrow going the other direction. Okay? As you can see, I'm going to stop it about right there. And the hint for this one is the number will become bigger when it converts going this direction. The actual number will. Okay. Now, I'm going to put some information on this side regarding conversions this way, and on this side conversions going this way. So, let's start. Put a little slide up here. I'm going to put a little star here. Okay. Here's my little star, or asterisk, whichever you would like to put here. Okay. And when you go up the stairs to the left, comma, move the decimal wherever it would be located on the number, to the left as many steps as you take. Now that's one way to make the conversion. I'm going to put a little star next to it again because there's another way you can do the same conversion, alright, and get the same answer. So here goes a big or right there, or another little star, because this is another way to do it. And it's not a requirement on which way you choose to do, okay? Divide by, I'm going to say base 10 with or and including or and include, this is important here, the number of zeros for the number of steps you take. Include number of zeros for, and I'll do hashtag symbol here, which also means number because we're running out of room, means number, for number of steps you take. And what that means is if you take 2 steps, then you'll divide by 1 with 2 zeros. Okay? Alright. Now let's look at the notes regarding converting the other direction. Alright? So we're going to look at this right here for a minute. Over here. And let's start with the opposite of going up the stairs when you go down the stairs. I'll start with a little star again. Okay? Right here. When you go down the stairs to the right. Move the decimal to the right as many steps as you take. Okay? And we can write or here in case we want to do the conversion this way. Okay? Or Another star, right? Multiply instead of divide by the base 10, or you say multiply by 1 with the certain amount of zeros of the steps you take if you want, with as many zeros as steps you take. Okay? Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some examples. And with those examples, you're going to reference back to here for being able to work out some of the problems. The first thing I want us to do is we're going to make a little box here with some problems in it. So let's see here. I'm going to see if I can adjust this out so you can be looking at the table at the same time as we do the conversions. Let's see here. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. Now let me slide that down. I'm going to make 3 lines here. All right. 1, 2, 3, and across. Let's try to make it as roomy as possible, okay? We're going to be filling in some blanks in a moment. So we'll go line across here. We'll write the word examples. Dot, dot. Okay? And after we do that, we're going to break this into 3 boxes. And then draw a line across this. This is so we can do some practice. Alright, let's start with first example. We're going to write 45g for grams equals, just draw a little line here. We'll come back and do the conversions in a moment. And we'll put mg at the end. Okay? And let's try 3,450 in this one. 3,450. ml for milliliters equals, we'll draw a line across here, equals, and they usually do capital letters when they do the bigger 1 unit measurement, L for liter. Okay? And we'll go to the next one and we'll put 6.5 m equals, leave a blank here, and at the end m for milliliters. We'll go down here, 1.68 L equals, or liters equals, how many milliliters? Go to the next one and do 28 centimeters. Equals how many millimeters? And the last one, 7,658 grams equals how many kilograms? Alright, now when we look back up here, that addresses the question for Unit 1 right here. What is a Unit 1 measurement? That's going to be the base measures. And we're going to write in here a little arrow out from here to fill in these blanks. Okay? Back to our table, we'll write meter. We'll write gram. And we're going to write liter. All right? we're going to now start doing some conversions. 45 grams to milligrams. Well, I'm going to go to the 1 unit liter, and look, milligrams, M, is down here. So if I have 45 and I have to move, let's count how many steps. 1, 2, 3. The decimal's at the end on 45, and so my answer would be I'd add 3 zeros on the end of it, and I would have 45,000. Okay? Now let's look at 3,450 milliliters and go back to liter. Well, I'm going the other direction. The decimal is at the end of 3,450. So I'm going to be moving the decimal to the left since I'm going up the stairs now. The number will become smaller. So I start at milliliters and I count how many steps? 1, 2, 3 to get to liters. So I'll move the decimal to the left 3 and I end up with 3.45, and you don't have to write the 0. So 3.5 milliliters, or 3.5 liters. Now look, I have 6.5 meters and I'm going to millimeters. Well, meters is the unit of 1. I'm going down the steps, so the number's going to get bigger. 1, 2, 3. Move the decimal to the right 3, and I end up with 6,500. Okay? Now let's look at 1.68 liters to milliliters. Once again, I'm moving from the base unit 1 down 3 places. 1, 2, 3. If I move the decimal to the right 3, I'm going to have to add a 0 and put 1,680 milliliters. Now let's look at the next one, 28 centimeters to millimeters. All right. 28 centimeters to millimeters is only 1 step away, and it's down. And so I'm just going to add a 0 on the end of 28 and make 280 millimeters. And the last one is moving up the steps. Let's make sure we can see the kilograms right there. If I'm moving to the left and up from the main unit, I'm going 1, 2, 3. And so I'm going to move the decimal to the left 3, and I end up with 7.658 kilograms. All right? Now the next thing we're going to do is something called dimensional analysis. So we are going to move on down to this part of our page. Right here, okay? And let's start by labeling use dimensional analysis. Make a box here. And then I'm going to go down here and break this out into 2 boxes. Because we're going to do 2 examples, all right? And let's begin by writing what 2 examples we would use. The first one would be convert .33 kilometers or kilometers to meters. And the second one I'm going to write convert 3,200 millimeters to meters. Okay? We're going 2 different ways. Kilometers is a larger measurement to a smaller, and this is a smaller to a larger. But it's the opposite. As we convert to this, the number will be bigger, and as we convert to this, the number will be smaller. Okay? All right. Let's look at our first example. And this is how we do dimensional analysis. We're going to do this as a unit to 1, 0.33 kilometers over 1. Because we're converting, I'm going to put times here. And I know that there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. what we do is we cancel out the km here and here because they divide each other out, and we multiply across. And if we multiply across, 0.33 times 1,000 gives me 330 meters, because I don't write the 1. Let's look at the next example. 3,200 millimeters over 1 unit. All right, we're changing it to meters now, times. Now in this case, I'm going to put the 1 meter on the top. And how many millimeters are in 1 meter? 1,000. Cancel out the millimeters. And if I multiply and divide across, 3,200 times 1, divide, well, 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. What's 3,200 divide 1,000? It is 3.2. So equals 3.2 meters. All right, and that is it for the day.